What is popping, guys? We are here with week three of the what's called the ITL, my own league. I don't know why I forgot the name, but it's week three. We started on two. I uploaded my week two battle last week. A game that I felt that I should have won, but lost because of a rock blast miss at the end, which was kind of annoying. But that was only one of our division rivals. This week we are facing our second division rival. Noiver Nation, aka Davion, aka coach of the Nevada Noiverns, aka a very good friend of mine, one of my longest friends in the community. And he drafted a kind of weird team in my opinion because he only has like one stealth rocker, I believe, in Empoleon, and doesn't have a ground type, which is great for my latest pick up the Heliolisk. Made some changes to my team. I dropped Electabuzz and Azel for Mesprit and Heliolisk, as well as for week 4, Togekiss for Conkeldurr and um, Passimian for Dusknoir. But this week, as you see, I bring Heliolisk, Gigalith, Excadrill, Kyurem Black, Tapu Fini, and Arcanine. Arcanine very defensive with Roar, Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp, and Morning Sun. It's a very solid check to Mimikyu as well as Dragonite, as well as the Hitmonchan. Um, Tapu Fini here, obviously another backup for Dragonite. It's mostly physically defensive with Haste, Toxic, Surf, and Moonblast. Toxic seems weird on this set because of the Misty Terrain that it sets up, but it's basically here to Toxic the Cresselia and deal with it with the Haze and wearing down with Moonblast and shit. And like Toxic will just be helpful to whittle this thing down as well as the Dragonite to put stuff like that on the timer. Kyurem Black is a bandit variant with Outrage, Dragonclaw, Iron Head, and Fusion Bolt. It's very weird, I guess, to have Outrage on the set where my opponent has 3 fairies, 2 of which he did bring. Didn't bring the Klefki, but because he has Tapu Koko and he brought it, in electric terrain I can actually lock myself into Fusion Bolt, basically 2 KO everything he wanted to bring, besides obviously Cresselia, which though is 2 KO by Outrage should I like get rid of fairies. Excadrill is actually a Scarf Mouthbreaker variant, so I'm not bringing like the Sand Rush and the Scarf variant with Rapid Spins, just in case he decides to bring his Rocker. Earthquake, Iron Head, and Rock Slide. Pretty standard, enough to outspeed Max Jolly Dragonite, even though I'd expect him to bring Bandit and probably Bandit or something. Um, my Gigalith is here because Davion actually has the Expert on his team, and this set is very specially defensive in the sand. It can actually eat 2 specs Surfs, so that's kind of clean. And like just sets up rocks, toxics, some stuff on my opponent's side, and like just walls some stuff. Like it's not O-code by anything on his team. Like it's also a solid like initial switch into the Weezing or like a pivot into the Weezing because like Arcanine can't really come in on a sludge bomb. It doesn't enjoy that after rocks, especially if like Weezing is a little bit more offensive. So gotta play around the Weezing a little bit cautiously, I guess. Mm. And Heliolisk here is a Scarf variant, Volt Switch, which will be um, boosted by the electric terrain that you might want to set up. Thunderbolt, Hyper Voice, and Hidden Power Ice. Nothing too fancy this week, but a team that's definitely looking at a squad has trouble breaking. Like once I get rid of the Coco, he like basically has no way of dealing with the Arcanine plus the Tapu Fini unless it's like a especially offensive Dragonite, maybe with Rain Dance or something, which I don't expect. Like Davion is a guy who loves to set up with his mons. Like I really expected him to bring Carmine Cresselia and SD Mimikyu. Um, maybe like even Dragon Dance D-Knight, but yeah, like 2 setup mons are basically a staple on every one of his teams. So let's hop right into the battle, I guess. Mm, I decided to lead off with my Heliolisk because I know I'll outspeed anything on his squad, any potential Scarf unless he has a Scarf Tapu Koko or a max speed Scarf Cresselia, which would be a problem. He leads off with his Tapu Koko though, and I have a very free Volt Switch here on the first turn. By the way, shout out to my man Tyler, aka Phantom Base, for recording this match and getting my mons. and basically doing a lot of stuff with the spreadsheet of the ITL. Really appreciate that. But yeah, Voltage does a clean amount to the Tapu Koko, crits him, which doesn't really matter because the difference between 40 and 60% isn't that big, and like Koko gets killed by a lot of stuff on my squad because it's super frail. I go into my Excalibur predicting to maybe want to Volt switch out. Um, I don't really have an initial switch in, but Excalibur best tanks any hit Koko wants to go for and can revenge it. On his next turn, I actually decide to switch out, expecting him to go into Cresselia or maybe a different mon, because like Excadrill could potentially be scarfed, and like even if he packs the HP Fire, there's no chance he will OHKO me. So or he will KO me from this range. So I pull the switch into my Gigalith here to like take any attack he wants to go for. As he reveals to actually pack the HP Fire and stay in, my Sandstorm goes up and he tries to hit um, my extra drill to put in range. I get the play of staying in because drill actually is a super big threat versus my team, and like it can versus his team, sorry, and it can like just beat a lot of stuff on his squad with the Earthquake or Iron Head, respectively. But I don't think the play was to stay in because HP Fire had no chance of killing anyway, and I don't agree with losing Koko that early. But he stays in and goes for the HP Fire. I don't want to take the Dark, not a Dark, but the Grass Knot, even though I don't think he packs it. I think he has Voltron and Thunderbolt. But I decide to go back out into my, double out back into my Excadrill here, I'm pretty sure, and just see what he wants to do. Could have set up my rocks, but I didn't really want it to, because Gigalith still is a very solid check to Dragon Knight and can like even deal with the +1 D Knight very easily from the range I was at. He decides to switch out into his Weezing, which is a very solid switch into Gigalith, obviously. And here I decide to just stay in, fire off an Earthquake because my team doesn't really break Weezing that well and will really open the door. Like this Earthquake had no chance of killing if he's a physically defensive variant, but the damage I get off is super important for Feeny to just sit there and wall everything on his team. It's now easily revengeable, and I take the Willow on the Excadrill um, here because like doesn't really matter. I can still revenge kill the Tapu Koko with the Earthquake, get some nice chip off on whatever else wants to come in, and like still be kind of a threat. Obviously, I can't really touch um, Cresselia or anything, but I couldn't really touch those kind of mons earlier anyway. Moldbreaker is still cool to hit Mimikyu with the Iron Head through a disguise, should I have the chance to do that. But yeah. He decides to withdraw his James's Weezing here and got into his Cresselia as I just stay in the fire of another Earthquake just to revenge the Weezing here. But obviously Cresselia is a very easy switch. He knows I'm scarfed and locked into the Earthquake. He could have used this as an opportunity to bring out his Dragonite, but Cresselia also makes sense. I would just go out into my Tapu Fini. This is my designated counter to this thing, and will be able to toxic it. So not too worried about the Carmine Cresselia because like even if he's modest Carmine, he can't really 2KO me with a +1 side shot. So Mia Wallace here very um, solid check to, or counter to this Cresselia, and I can always haze him when I decide to do it. So that's kind of clean. He obviously won't predict the toxic. I was pretty sure about that. I thought he would stay in and maybe try to set up another command or get some chip damage off with the side shot because like he doesn't have the best ways of breaking through Feeny. But I decided to just toxic here, put this thing on time and basically make it useless versus me unless it's a rest variant, in which case I have to get rid of fairies so that what's called Curum can easily lock itself into outrage and to KO this thing on the switch, and so that was kind of my reasoning behind that. Um, he just fires off a side shock, which does absolutely nothing. That reveals he was uninvested in special attack, or maybe at like 4-12 EVs in there. Nothing special, obviously. Doesn't do a lot in my type of feeling. I think I decided to just go for the serve to either like get some chip off on the Cresselia or revenge to the Weezing if it decides to come in. Surf will give me the knockout here on the Weezing, which is super nice. Now he like really struggles breaking through Feeny. Um, that's why like it maybe should have like saved the Weezing earlier versus the Excadrill and go hard into his Cresselia. Now he decides to go into his Mimikyu, and I have a very solid switch into the Arcanine, but I really expect the Sword Dance here, so I want to break the disguise on this Mon with the Moonblast. Moonblast actually would do like 40 to 50%, I think, to an uninvested Mimikyu, but obviously disguise will bust first here. So now my Arcanine, even at versus a +2 Mimikyu, can come in. I will scout for the Woodhammer, obviously. Woodhammer wouldn't kill me from this range, unless he's like Adamant Lifer, but he later reveals to be leftovers. And I can just go hard into my Arcanine, get the Intimidate off, and wall this thing completely. Reveals to be Woodhammer, obviously. Makes sense as coverage for my Gigalith and my Tapu Fini. So I have a lot of plays here. I can go for a Will-O-Wisp or for the Roar. I think I decide to just go for a Willow because it will make this Mimikyu useless, and now the Misty Terrain is no longer there, so I actually can go for the Willow. Because for the Shadow Claw it does not do a lot. I miss my Willows sadly, and Mimikyu stays at +1, but as you can see, Shadow Claw does absolutely nothing. I can Morning Sun up on this thing whenever I want to, so that's kind of clean. I will go for the Morning Sunny because I don't want to get like too killed by a Shadow Claw or anything with like a hit and then a crit after the Will-O-Wisp. Oh no, I decided to Will-O-Wisp here because I can like, take any hit. Makes sense. Cresselia comes in, pretty smart, like it's already toxic, so I don't really, he doesn't really lose anything by going to Crest. But now, like, Crest can't really beat me either, and I can just Morning Sun up here or go for the Roar. Sends out his Coco. I don't know, like, what he expected. Probably, like, expected me to go back into my Fini, in which case that would have been a very smart play, but still, like, Excadrill was an easy switch to that thing anyway. So, yeah, doesn't really help him that much. I'm Morning Sun up, get back to full, and Arcanine looking clean. Arcanine and Fini really hard to break for him. I can just go into my plane view here, my boy Excadrill, and like take a potential T-Bolt or what he now reveals to be the Nature's Madness Tapunium Z, Guardian of the Lola. Pretty sick animation to be honest. So it actually was like Dazzling Gleam, HP Fire, probably Thunderbolt or Volt Switch, as well as the Nature's Madness. Nature's Madness is very smart, especially with the Guardian of the Lola, because it does a hefty chunk to stuff like Snorlax or Arcanine, like just the fatter stuff on my team, especially like with the Excadrill as well. Yeah, I'm still burnt, but I live. I can take another round of burn. I can just fire off an Earthquake. He doesn't know yet that I'm scarfed. I think I it's like he should have expected to be scarfed. Like I thought he knew it, but now he knows it for sure that I'm actually a scarf expert. And I take out the Coco, and now he like really has absolutely or almost no chance of breaking Arcanine plus Fini. Center is Dragonite, and I obviously have to switch out here. I can't allow this thing to set up if it's a DD variant. And I can go into my boy Ric Flair here, the Arcanine. As he decides to go for, oh, he makes a smart switch out again, expecting me to go into Arc or Fini, and goes up into his Cresselia. But like all these switches on his side, like yeah, that makes sense because like Dragonite is not in a position to um, do a whole lot yet if it's a DD variant, but like they don't give him anything because my team is very well prepared for the Cresselia. It's already toxic. Cresselia can't break my Walker on its own because I pack Raw on the Arcanine and I pack the Haze on the on Tapini. I just go for the Raw here. I could have Flamethrower to get some more chip with the Toxic off on this, but now Dragonite comes back in. He is not intimidated now, but that doesn't really matter. I can take any one hit, even if it's Adamant Bandit. And I decide to just go for the Will-O-Wisp on the next turn. He decides to go for the Brick Break, potentially expecting me to switch out into Gigalith or the Kyurem Black, but I just say, and the damage here on Arcanine reveals that he is actually Bandit and probably Adamant Max Attack. So yeah, that's good to know. Like now he's locked into Brick Break, which is great for me. I can just Morning Sun up or Roar or fire off another Will-O-Wisp or Flamethrower, whatever I want to do. As he like is forced to go back into his Darkwing. Things are looking really bad for him. I actually made a switch out back into my Kyurem here, expecting him to not wanna stay in with the Dragonite because like Brick Break would do absolutely nothing, and Tapu Fini would also be a very smart switch in. I think I expected him to go like potentially into Mimikyu or no not Mimikyu, like potentially go into Cresselia or the Hitmonchan, and I like just want to get in case he stays in, I want to get in my Kyurem to revenge kill the Dragonite and get some chip off on Cresselia if it want to switch into Kyurem. So yeah, Cresselia vs Kyurem not a good matchup for me. I don't want to lock myself into outrage yet. Fusion Bolt is kind of useless now because Electric Terrain is not up, and I have to switch out back again into my Tapu Fini or my Arcanine. I think I go into my Fini here. Sorry by the way if I like don't know all the plays I made, but it was a pretty long game. You can like remember everything by heart, I guess. Yeah, Tapu Fini comes back in. He will go for the Moonblast here to get some chip off on my Fini, but as you see, it does absolutely nothing. Even if in these misty terrain, like Tapu Fini eats everything, so that's kind of clean. I can just go for Moonblast here, hits everything on his team. Dragonite and Hitmonchan will take over 50%, or like they will be 2-hit KO'd because because Dragonite already has his multi-scale broken. Mimikyu will take like 40 to 50, which is great for me. And this thing can potentially get special attack drops. I don't really need to haste here already, to be honest, because +1 side shift does absolutely nothing. I have no reason to like go for haste instead of going for chip damage, forcing him to potentially Moonlight up and get more chip damage off with the Toxic. Pretty easy plays here for me. Like there's really nothing he can do. He was like after the game he was kind of upset because like he couldn't break my team, but his team had an absolutely terrible matchup versus my Tapu Fini Arcanine core. Like it didn't really have any solid answers for this, especially if I played my cards correctly. And I think I played this game very safely, and his team allowed me to do that. He made some drops after this game, not before this game even, but they will only count. They will count first next week, so he got some more mons he's more comfortable with. I definitely agree this, and he got some threats that can actually break through my squad. So I can just fire off more Moonblast here on the Cresselia, as he has to get chip damage off on me for a potential Mimikyu sweep, which is basically now his only chance of winning the game. But with Arcanine still at full, things are looking pretty bad for my boy Davion here. As you see, like his attacks do absolutely nothing, and I think he will go down to poison on his next turn. So Cresselia, which is a really bad mon for me to play against because I don't have Dark Step or Ghost Step on my squad. It's pretty like I can't really break it, so I have to Toxic it with the Fini. Yeah, that's kind of clean. Now he goes out into his Hitmonchan. I don't know why. Like um, I even take a +1 Thunder Punch, but I still go just hard into my Arcanine to get the Intimidate off. Mm. If he has Stone Edge, he has to crit, and here like now he reveals not to even be banded or anything. He potentially is AV. He packs the Fake Out, doesn't get like any damage. He probably is AV with like Fake Out plus Combat, Rapid Spin, and maybe Stone Edge or something, or Earthquake. I don't know what, but yeah. Arcanine still a solid switch in. And just go for the Flamethrower to get some chip off on whatever wants to come in. And on this Dragonite, I get a crit here that does not really matter because Dragonite is useless, obviously, with the burn. And on this turn, I can just scout what he wants to go for by going for Morning Sun. Obviously, Sand hasn't been up for quite some while, and Morning Sun will give me a lot of HP back. Knocks himself into outrage, trying to get like a crit or hoping that I would potentially like raw him out to put and like potentially revenge kill me with Hitmonchan or the Mimikyu, which makes sense. But yeah, now he's locked into outrage, and I can go into my Fiend and fire off a big Moonblast, which We'll either get rid of the Dragon Knight, put the Feeny in range for most attacks on my squad, or we'll just 2 KO the Hitmonchan on the switch in. So Feeny safe and easy switch in here. As he goes for a second outrage, obviously he has to do that. Gets confused, and I have a very free Moonblast. He's locked into outrage. He can't stay in unless he wants to like sack it already. But yeah, like no chance for him to break Feeny now, or the Arcanine, which was a pattern as you might have noticed throughout the entire game. So I go for the Moonblast here in the nice and misty terrain. We'll do quite a chunk to this Mimikyu, as you see. It does like 45% against special attack rope, which obviously doesn't matter. Thankfully, like no hex really came into play, um, so that's kind of cool, I guess. I always want some clean games, obviously on both sides. I'm not a fan of like the RNG in Pokemon, but yeah, nothing to do. I will just go out into my Heliolisk here, knowing that he either will set up a sword stance or like potentially hit me with a wood hammer, but I live any one hit and I can just volt switch out. So Heliolisk comes in. I have a very free volt switch here, 2 volt switches into like with Arcanine support, like with Intimidate, will 2 KO it, so I can just pivot around, not want to take any damage if I don't need to, and like I can just get damage off, go into my Arcanine, take the Play Rough or the Wood Hammer, whatever he wants to go for. He has no reason to go for Shadow Claw. As I lower his attack, he goes for the Play Rough. Like Mimikyu can't do anything like versus my Scarfed Heliolisk anyway. So Arcanine comes in, lowers its attack, and now I know he has to go for the Shadow Claw because Arcanine takes nothing from Play Rough or Wood Hammer. So I double out like back into my Heliolisk to revenge him with the Volt Switch, which is cool. Shadow Claw doesn't affect me, obviously, because I'm part normal type. I can Volt Switch out and basically have the game won with my Bandit Kyurem, because now with Mimikyu gone, I can lock myself into Outrage and kill the Hitmonchan, even if it's a max defensive Hitmonchan has no chance of winning. And obviously I outspeed the Dragonite and can echo that with the outrage as well. So my boy Kyurem here, my boy MVP, comes in and will clean up this game. So a good game to my opponent. Nice 6-0 for me. But obviously I have to say the team matchup, especially after team preview, was heavily in my favor. There was nothing he could really do to break my wall core when I played my cards correctly, which I did. So nothing he could really do about that. We will face him again later in the season, so I hope this will be like a more closer game, I guess, because that's more fun than like getting 6-0 or anything. I want some close and interesting matches, but yeah, that's the game. I win 6-0, so I'm improved to 1-2, which is good. Obviously, getting wins in my division is always helpful, and yeah, things are looking better now. I played both my NPL and my ITL match, like this match, yesterday, and I felt like I played both very, very well. Got a 4 win in the NPL and now a 6-0 in the ITL. Always nice to do well, obviously. Was a clean game. Very happy with how my wall core performed in this match, and obviously like putting smart pressure on with Toxic, some Roar's Will-O-Wisp, just spreading status, and then like getting my big hitters in when I needed to. I think that really won me the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment what you think of the match, obviously. And yeah, catch you next week with my next NPL or ITL match. See ya, guys.